Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you. So we'll just wait for a couple of seconds, but I think everyone is here. Good morning again. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to our winter term orientation or international student welcome. And thank you also for choosing UNSW. So we're very excited to welcome you here and to host you for the next few months, for half a year or for 1 year, depending on your program. And we know it's going to be an amazing and life-changing experience for all of you. So this winter term, we have just over 600 exchange and study abroad students who are joining UNSW. So that's the biggest group. And I think everyone is here. As you can see, the room is full. So yes, we will go through all the important information and also lots of fun information to help you settle and prepare for your exchange and study abroad program. So I just would like to begin by showing my respects and acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which this meeting takes place, and to elders past and present. A couple of housekeeping items before we start. The bathrooms are upstairs, just you will need to take the stairs over there on my right-hand side, your left-hand side. And the emergency exits, in case we need to evacuate, are marked with a sort of green lights, like a little running person, but hopefully we don't have to use them. And I am Elena. I should have introduced myself first. I am the exchange manager in the Learning Abroad team. Here with me, I have my colleagues from exchange and study abroad. I'll just introduce them really briefly. So we've got Eilish over there. We've got Heather, James, Philippa, or Pip, and Shane and Shailene. Yes, I've got everyone. So you may recognize some names from the email correspondence that you may have had. So you see on the slide what we're going through today. So I will talk about academic expectations, and then I'll hand over to my colleagues who will talk about support services, health and well-being, staying safe while in Sydney and at UNSW. We will talk about Australian culture, which is always a fun presentation. Beach safety, super important, of course. We will have representatives from ARC, which is a student organization that looks after your student life outside the classroom. So basically, all the fun things. We also have our exchange ambassadors with us. They are full-degree UNSW students who have been on exchange. So they will tell you what they're planning for the term, and you can also talk to them at the end of the presentation. And you will also hear about the Exchange Society, which is one of the ARC's societies, and this is for students who either have been on exchange or who are here on exchange or study abroad or who are thinking of going abroad. So it's basically just a community of students who are passionate about studying abroad or have done it. When we finish, we will have lunch just outside in the beer garden, with like sausage sizzle for you with some soft drinks, and there will be optional campus tours if you would like to come along on one. And at the lunch as well, we're going to have a human bingo, which is just like a great icebreaker so you can meet other students, and we will explain the rules at the end. And we also have some exciting prizes, which is a UNSW hoodie. So the first 10 students who complete the cards will get a prize. Okay, so I'll introduce our campus. For some of you, it may be the first time on campus, but some of you may have already visited, depending on when you arrived. But our campus, it's really busy, it's vibrant. We like to say it never sleeps, but it does take a nap occasionally. So at the moment, it is taking a nap. It's a lot quieter than usual. This is because it's now the end of the term 2, and students are doing the exams, so full degree students. So that's why not many students are around. But as we lead to term 3 in the next few weeks, the campus will be buzzing with student activity. You will see there will be lots of things happening. It will be really, really busy. As part of the term 3, there will be a big O week it's like a university-wide orientation week with lots of presentations, activities, academic things and fun things. Clubs and societies will be represented. So we encourage you to get involved. You can check online, and we will send you links as well, so you can register for all the things that you're interested in, or even just being on campus and walking around will be a fun experience. So this is where we are located, which of course I'm sure you all know. You've probably Googled and have researched our university, but we're really fortunate in terms of the location. We are on the main campus, the Kensington campus. There is also another campus in Sydney called Paddington campus, which is for art and design, and some of you will be taking courses on that campus. It's about 10-15 minutes by a free shuttle bus that operates between this campus and the Paddington campus. As also you can see, and you may have already been, to Coogee Beach, where within the walking distance. If you go to the beach, it's downhill. To come back to campus, it's a little bit uphill, but not too bad. There is also a direct bus that can take you there. We're not far from the famous Bondi Beach, just a bus ride or a couple of bus rides, or you can actually walk. It's a bit of a walk, but you can do it. We're fairly close to the airport, and we're not far from the city center. We're well connected by public transport. You may have already taken Light Rail. This will take you directly to the Sydney's business district and all the way to the Opera House. So the campus facilities, we have lots of facilities that you need to make your student life at UNSW a wonderful experience. All the things that we have are listed on the slide. We're a big campus. We have our own postcode, which is very exciting. And we have, it's over 60,000, probably even more, students from all around the world. So it's going to be really, really busy. Just to point out that we have a gym on campus, which is actually just, sorry, I think I've just lost my sense of direction, but it's, I think, over there. But yeah, that way, thank you. Basically just behind us. It's not included in student tuition, so it's not free, which may be different depending on where you're coming from. So you need to pay, but they have different options. You can join and have a membership, and they probably have passes. So the best way, if you're interested, just go and have a chat to them and see what option works best for you. And they have a pool as well. Otherwise, yes, we've got lots of food courts and study spaces. There's a big field for exercising and sport, and health services and medical center, which we will talk about later in today's presentation. Okay, so academic expectations. So I will explain first how the classes are structured, because this can be quite different to your home university. So at UNSW, most classes will have a lecture, which is for a large group of students. It can be fairly small, but it can be hundreds of students. And this is very similar to what we have at the moment, where a lecture is presenting and students normally just listen and take notes. There is not a lot of student engagement, but there may be opportunity to ask questions, but usually it's just a lecture presented by your lecturer. But classes will also have small groups where there is a lot of student interaction and engagement. It could be tutorials, labs, seminars. There are different types depending on what course you're doing and your major. And they're usually for students between 20 and 25 per tutorial or lab or a seminar. Participation is expected, and this is where you can ask questions. You will be discussing the contents of the lectures, of what you've learned. There will be group discussions, presentations, assignments. Attendance is compulsory, at least 80%, but you will need to check the attendance rule. Your course convener or your tutor will explain what is expected, and we will talk about course outlines a bit later. If you miss due to circumstances outside your control, you will need to have evidence, such as a medical certificate, for example, and we have the option to apply for special consideration, which I will cover a little bit later. In terms of the delivery mode, you probably already know when you were researching your courses and creating your timetable. We have in-person delivery mode, which is, of course, self-explanatory. This is in-person. There are also fully online courses that have no in-person component at all. And there are also multimodal courses, which normally have an in-person component and an online component. It could be just like a different combination. In terms of your requirements for your exchange or study abroad, you can only enroll in a maximum of one fully online course per sort of like half a year. So if you're here for the winter term and term 3, for example, you're limited to only one fully online course. So these are our rules, visa rules and our program rules, but it's also important that you check with your home university. We know that some or a lot of partner universities will have requirements where they will not accept a fully online course for credit recognition. So it's important that you check with them. If you're taking a multimodal course and it has at least one face-to-face component, it's fine for us. It's not considered a fully online course as long as you have an in-person component, for example, a tutorial. But once again, check with your home university. They may have some strict requirements where they may not accept courses with any online components. So course enrollment. So you must be enrolled in one winter term course, which is 6 units of credits. Hopefully everyone is enrolled. Those who are not enrolled, we've reached out to you. And if you have any questions, please contact us as soon as possible so we can get this sorted this afternoon or tomorrow at the latest. And you're required to be enrolled in 3 courses for term 3 or 18 units of credit. So exchange and study abroad students are not allowed to underload, to enroll in less than 18 units of credit, or overload and enroll in more. So your study plan is 1 course in the winter term, plus 18 units of credit, which is normally 3 courses in the winter term. The important deadlines are listed on the slide. As you can see, the course approval deadline for the winter term has passed. Having said that, if you urgently need to change to another course and it hasn't been approved on Endeavour yet, please add it as quickly as possible today. Most courses are auto-approved, and we will still be applying class permissions tomorrow, so you still can add a new course and then change your enrollment. The enrollment deadline for the winter term is Sunday, the end of week 1. It is important to note, though, because winter term is an intensive term, it's only 4 weeks. If you go to your class in the first week and by the end of the first week you decide to change to another course, it's important to check with the course convener, because if that other course you would like to switch to also started on Monday, so you would have missed the whole week of classes, which may not meet the attendance requirements, or you may have missed too much content to be able to catch up. Some courses may start in week 2. In that case, it's okay to swap into that one as long as it's done by the deadline. But our advice would be, we know sometimes it's hard to make the decision, but go on Monday, if your class starts on Monday, and see if you can decide then if you want to definitely stay in that course or switch to another one, just to ensure that you don't miss too much content of a new course. And as I said, sometimes it may be too late to join, even though technically the enrollment deadline hasn't passed. But all winter term courses, as you probably have seen, they're all super exciting. A lot of them are Australia-focused. You know, they're designed with exchange and study abroad students in mind, so they're kind of tailored to help you make the most of your experience and learn about Sydney, learn about Australia. So I'm sure you will all enjoy whatever class you have chosen. For term 3, the course approval deadline on Endeavour is the 8th of September, and the enrollment deadline is the 20th of September. So for term 3, you have a bit of time to add and drop courses, so you can actually, in week 1, you can go to the first lecture and see if this is, something that you would like to do, but if that course is not suitable for whatever reason, you have the first week to make those changes. Just make sure you have enough courses approved as a backup. If, for example, at the moment, you only have 3 courses approved on your endeavor, and you're enrolled in those 3 courses, have a think, and it's good to get some more backup options approved, just in case when you start your courses, if you need to change, it's much easier to have backup options already approved on Endeavor, and you can just easily, without any stress, make that enrollment change on My UNSW. And once again, as a reminder, talk to your home university. I'm sure you've done that already, but make sure you confirm course approvals with them as well for credit recognition. So My UNSW, all of you, well, hopefully have already logged in and you know about this. So this is your sort of one-stop shop student portal. It has all the information you need. This is where you check your enrollment. Well, this is actually where you self-enroll. This is where you check your timetable. Later on, you will check your exam timetable in there as well, and your results are published. Your grades will be published on My UNSW as well. So there is a really important task that you all need to do to comply with your Australian student visa. This is to update your Australian address and the phone number. So this is something you need to do sort of within a week. If you're still in a temporary accommodation, and if, let's say, within this week you're not moving to your long-term accommodation, you can for now put your temporary accommodation details, but you must update the details once you have found long-term accommodation, just as a reminder to do that. And UNSW, My UNSW will also link you to other online services that you will be using while studying. And speaking of which, so you will be using UNSW email account. So once again, hopefully all of you have set it up. If not, please do so as quickly as possible. All official correspondence from UNSW, from your lecturers, from other services, all that. News, announcements will be sent to your UNSW email account. So what we recommend is, well, you either check it regularly or forward to your personal email account if you prefer. So this way you don't have to check multiple email accounts, but whatever works for you. So another online service that you will be using for your courses is Moodle. Some of you may be using Moodle at your home university, or you may be using Blackboard, for example, which is very similar. So this is an online platform for your UNSW courses. All course information, including detailed course outlines, is published on Moodle. There will be also course announcements from the lecturer, for example, or from your tutor. When you need to submit assessments online, you will be submitting them via Moodle, or if your course has an online quiz, this is also done via Moodle. But all the activities and everything that will be happening for the course during the term will be explained in the course outline as well. And lecture recordings. So lectures are recorded, and you can access the recordings via Moodle as well. And also Teams. Every student has free access to Teams, and it can be used for meetings or group work or document sharing as well. But once again, your lecturer or your tutor will explain how you will be using Teams and if you will be using it. Okay, so making a good start is important because we know you're, of course, here to study, but also as part of your experience, you're here to, have a great time in Sydney, explore Sydney, travel around and travel in Australia. So it's important to have a good plan and get organized with your courses. As I mentioned, all information about your courses is included in the course outline. There's a week-by-week schedule. You will know when your assessments are due or what readings you need to do or any other sort of assignments or preparations every week. So this will help you with your planning. And course outlines are available on Moodle. For T3, they may not be on Moodle yet, but they will be published very soon. If you have any questions, if any information in the course outline is not clear, please reach out to your tutor or to your lecturer as early as possible, just to clarify and to avoid any confusion or any uncertainty that you might have. In terms of textbooks, the lecturer or your tutor will tell you what textbooks are required. This information is also in the course outline. We have a UNSW bookshop where you can buy like packs for each course, or like any sort of handouts and books as well. However, we always advise students to maybe wait until the first lecture, because then they can explain which book will be used absolutely every week and which books potentially may be sort of recommended, but not necessarily like as a requirement to have at home, because a lot of books are available in the library, and there is like a short-term loan like section where you can borrow a really popular and high-demand book for a couple of hours if you need to study. And then you can make the decision, because we know books are expensive, and then you can decide which books you want to buy or which you may be borrowing from the library. And you can probably search online for different like book exchanges. And this is potentially maybe one of the questions for our exchange ambassadors when they're presenting, because you guys will probably know if you have any tips about that, how to buy secondhand books. If not, that's fine, but I would not know. But I'm sure everyone would be very resourceful on the internet, and you can maybe find some groups and where you can buy secondhand. Otherwise, yeah, the bookshop is on campus. So the library, we have 2 libraries on this campus. We have the main library. The photo is on the slide. It has the UNSW letters at the top. And there is also a law library, which is separate. This is, of course, for those of you who are studying law. And the Paddington campus, the art and design one, it has its own library. Your student ID card is actually your library card, so you can use it to loan the books, and you can manage everything online in your My Library account. And this is, the high-use collection. That's the correct term. So this is what I was referring to, where you can borrow books like for a couple of hours, the ones that a lot of students are using for their courses. So the option is there. And there are study places, of course, like spaces in the library, and I believe you can book rooms, and you can use different resources if you need to print something that's available. Okay, so assessments and course outline. So I talked already about the course outline, how it has all information, week-by-week plan, and information about all the assessments. One thing that we also ask you to check carefully is the grading section of your course outline, so that you understand how the course is graded. In most cases, courses are sort of graded in the standard way, well, standard for us at the moment, which is a numerical grading. So you get a number on a scale from 0 to 100, and then there will be letters attached to that. The next slide will explain all this, but this is sort of like a traditional numerical grading. Some courses, and the number is growing, they are graded essentially pass-fail. And there are 2 options. One is where you get satisfactory or unsatisfactory grading, but yes, in essence, it's pass-fail. And there is another grading, which is just a little bit more complex, where course is graded as competent, competent with merit, and not yet competent. So once again, it's like pass-fail, but they have this extra competent with merit, just to recognize, over and above achievement. Please double-check that carefully and talk to your home university if you haven't already. We know that many universities that we work with, where our exchange and study abroad students are from, do not accept courses that are graded as pass-fail or the satisfactory or competency for credit recognition. So if you're enrolled in one of those courses, it's not possible for the lecturer to give you a grade. Because if it's graded as pass-fail, this is the grade that you're going to get. And your home university may not recognize it for credit, so it's important that you check with them. If you have already confirmed with them, that's fine, but if you're not sure, double-check with them, and also just review your course outline, just once again, to make sure you understand the grading. If it's not clear, talk to the lecturer and talk to your home university. So yes, lots of things to check with your home university about online courses and the grading, but something that's really important, we need to remind you, just to avoid issues down the track, so make sure you organize and double check and confirm everything before the enrollment deadline. So the grades, so speaking of grades, these are most of the grades that will appear on the transcript, of course, depending on the results. But to pass a course, you need to get a 50, so between 50 and 64, it's a pass. And then we have credit, distinction, and high distinction. Just a note, as we know, we've been getting questions from partners and from students. Keep in mind that the number of distinctions, but also high distinctions in particular, is quite small at UNSW. It's just like the way it works, the way grading is done. So you may be sitting on A+, for example, at your home university, but please don't be disappointed if you don't get high distinction. If you do, be very proud. Having said that, if you get a credit, it's already great, it's a really good achievement. So just keeping that in mind, that the way grading works could be different. How your grades are converted by your home university, or if they are actually converted, it's up to your home university. We're not able to advise. We have already sent all the information. Your home universities knows. They know how the grades are working, the definitions. So, some of them will transfer your courses from UNSW, just like as pass-fail. Some may be converting our grades to the grades that your home university is using, but this is something that you will need to check with them, how credit recognition works, if you don't know yet. So when you finish your exchange, you will get your official UNSW transcript, but it is shared electronically through a platform called MyEquals, which is like a secure transcript sharing, platform. And you can use that platform to forward your transcript to your home university. So once again, it's all done in a secure way, so you don't need to download it and send it to them. It's all done through this portal. And this will be done at the end of your exchange, so we'll be at the end of term 3 if you're here for 6 months. So the grades are released, I had it in the notes, I believe it's the 17th of December. Yeah, thank you. So this is when you will get a notification to your email address first, your UNSW email account, and then the grades are posted on your academic statement on My UNSW. And then probably a couple of weeks after the release of the results, you will get access to the MyEquals platform to view and access your official UNSW transcript. So special consideration, I mentioned it briefly in one of the previous slides. So this is for circumstances outside your control. So the key word is outside the control, something that, for example, medical reasons, obviously, so if you're sick and if illness or some other circumstance beyond your control is affecting your attendance or is affecting your ability to complete an assignment or participate in an exam. So the option to apply for special consideration is available to all students, of course. You need to apply via My UNSW. There are rules and regulations, especially with regards to the deadlines, like when you need to apply, what supporting documents is accepted. Everything is on the website. We've sent you the links already, but we'll be sharing that information again. Information about special consideration is also included in the course outline. And if you have any questions, you can clarify with the course convener. If you're not sure who to ask, if you're stuck, you can always send us an email and we will direct you to the relevant services. But yes, something good to keep in mind if something happens during your studies here. And also to note that this is for short-term circumstances. Let's say if you got sick, you had flu, or something that is affecting you short-term. If you have a long-term, like medical or mental health condition that you will require ongoing support with your studies, you will need to register with Equitable Learning Services to receive educational adjustments and ongoing support. And we will talk about it a little bit later. As a sort of general rule at UNSW, there is a fit to sit or fit to submit rule. So it means that before an exam or before submitting an assessment, you've kind of made, a personal assessment that you're fit to do so. So if you go to the exam, it means that you've decided you're well enough to do it, so then you can't finish an exam and then apply for special consideration saying, I was sick. However, there is, I guess, it needs to be distinguished from cases where, you felt fine before the exam, but you just got sick, something happened during the exam, then you can apply for special consideration, but you will need medical evidence. And once again, there are strict timelines of when you need to do it. So something to keep in mind. So it's always good to, even though you may think, oh, I will not need to use it, but it's always good to be prepared. So check the rules now so you know where to access this information and you know what needs to be done, should you need to use that. And yes, please just remember that this option is available to you. Just to note quickly, if there are any technical issues, if you're doing like an online assessment and there are technical issues, you must notify your tutor or your course convener immediately. Take screenshots, document as much as possible as well, because this can happen. Okay, exams. So the winter term does not have a designated exam period, and most courses probably won't even have a final exam. But this information is included in the course outline. As you see, it's all there, and it will be explained to you. You will probably get a final sort of assessment, an essay, or whatever the course convener has. It may be a test. Once again, all courses are different, but there is no designated exam period. So you will know, your lecturer, your tutor will explain what the assessments are. There is an exam period for term 3, so the dates are on the website. You will know your provisional exam timetable on the 28th of October. But keep in mind that this is not the final exam timetable. There may be still changes. The final exam timetable is released on the 2nd of November. So this is extremely important. We ask you not to make any travel plans, any other plans, until your final exam timetable is released. Exam times are non-negotiable. You can see this in red, and do not is in capital letters. We've had cases where students, booked a trip home already, or a trip to, Bali, which is all very exciting, but the dates of the exams cannot be moved. They will not be adjusted. So once again, for any circumstances outside your control, this is a special consideration process, but like travel plans or like work commitments, things like that will not be considered as circumstances outside your control. So please, please don't make any arrangements until you know your exam timetable. So academic misconduct. Pretty self-explanatory and obvious. Everyone, hopefully knows you should not be cheating on your exams. You should not be cheating on your assessments. Do not pay anyone to do your assessments for you. You may be approached by someone, so do not obviously do that. Do not falsify any documentation. So UNSW is really, really good at detecting any academic misconduct. So if students participate, they will be caught, and there are, of course, serious consequences. So just don't do that. If you're not sure what may constitute academic misconduct, there are resources available just to explain what is expected at UNSW, what the rules and regulations are. If you're doing an assessment, if you have any questions about, how to quote or reference other sources, speak to your lecturer to clarify. We have Learning Center. They also offer resources and support because, sometimes it may be just a genuine misunderstanding if things are a bit different at your home university. As I said, there are obvious things like don't bring your notes to the exam. This would be the same at your universities as well, like don't cheat. But if some things, if you're doing a paper and if you're just not sure how to properly reference sources or things like that, the resources are available. So seek advice and seek clarification so you know upfront what the rules are and that you follow the rules. Just to note the use of AI, talk to your lecturer what the appropriate use of AI is in your classes and your assessments, and what the unacceptable and inappropriate use is. So they will need to clarify that. For you, it's still, of course, a fairly new but highly developing area, so please talk to your lecturer before you use any AI, then just so you know clear rules. And academic progression, so it's the final slide from me. It's a condition of your exchange and study abroad program to pass more than 50% of your classes. So you're expected to pass your winter term. So once again, if there are any issues, concerns, please raise with us. Those of you who are here for a year will be expected to pass more than 50% of your tailored term courses, like winter plus T3. Otherwise, your second half of your exchange may be affected. So it's just go to classes, attendance is compulsory. It's for classes as well. As a UNSW rule, it's the exchange and study abroad rule, but it's also the visa requirement that you need to attend your courses, you need to attempt all the assessments as well. So keeping in mind also that for some courses, there may be like an essential assessment that you must pass in order to pass the entire course. So even if you pass all the other assessments, if you fail one particular component, you may fail the whole course. So once again, something that will be in the course outline. And just a final note, sorry, I know it's been all serious, but more fun is coming, I promise. But it's important to let you know, we get questions a lot from students about exam receipts. So I'm talking about not special consideration, but actually, if let's say you got an exam, you were feeling fine, and you failed it, we know that at some universities, there is an option to resit an exam, and you can have multiple attempts. That's not available at UNSW. So if you fail your exam, if you fail a course, if there were no circumstances outside your control, so if you're not eligible to apply for special consideration, like there is no receipt. It's the same for full degree students. The only option is just to repeat the same course in the following term. So once again, something important to note. Okay, so that's it from me. I will hand over to Heather to talk about all the support services available to you. Thanks, guys.
It's bright in here. Hello. Listening to Eleanor talk about academics make my hands sweaty. Hello, everyone. My name is Heather. So I am the program officer looking after the Americas regions. So you're from the US or Canada and coming through exchange, you'll probably have talked to me. Before I start going to support services, which is also another very important section, not the fun part yet, unfortunately, I want you to look around left and right and see if anyone is sleeping. And can you please wake them up for me? Okay, cool. So I'll go to talk about the support services. It is very important because that while you are here, some of you might be the first time away from home. There's academic, it's a different system. You might feel lonely as time. You might feel like you need some support, and we are here for you. And there's a lot of services at UNSW that is here for you. So before I actually start talking, I'll play a video if this works, and talk about sort of what range of services we have at UNSW.
Hey there, welcome to UNSW. My name's Laura Montague and I'm the chair of your student organisation ARC, and I'm so delighted to welcome you to UNSW. UNSW is a place where you can learn, grow, discover and thrive, and there are so many amazing services to help you do just that.
The Nucleus is the home of student services, here to guide you from enrolment to graduation. Drop in online or in person if you have any questions around working through your degree, your student record, fees, ID cards, or documentation. We'll be able to help or point you in the right direction.
The Student Support Advisors are here to help students navigate the pressures and stresses of life, including university life. The team takes a personalized approach, assisting students steer through a wide range of matters, such as financial hardship or accommodation issues, and with general information regarding student visas, relationship difficulties, as well as personal and health-related concerns. Sections with student support advisors are free and confidential, and students can receive support in person or virtually. For more information or to book an appointment, just search UNSW Support Advisors.
Academic skills can help students with any aspect of their academic work, including planning and writing assignments, reading and note-taking, presentations, critical thinking, and many others. This service is available to all students at any point of their degree. The Academic Skills team meets with students by individual consultations, workshops, or in general education and faculty courses. They also provide heaps of study skills and resources online on the Academic Skills website.
Equitable Learning Service is a confidential service that supports students living with disabilities, medical or mental health conditions, or anyone with care responsibilities. The role of ELS is to ensure that you are provided with appropriate flexibility and educational supports throughout your university studies. The service is free and confidential, and there is no need to tell your faculty what your health condition is. The team at Equitable Learning Services will work with you on a personalized equitable learning plan with specific educational adjustments.
Mental ill health is common. No matter what your concern, UNSW is committed to supporting students who experience any form of mental health distress. Support is available through Mental Health Connect, whether you're in Australia or studying overseas. Mental Health Connect will assess your needs and assist you to access the most appropriate counsellor, psychologist, advisor, or doctor. If you need support after hours, there's also an after hours line you can call. Head to the Health Connect website for more information.
UNSW Employability can help you to build your personal and professional identity to discover, launch and grow your future career. There are career coaches available for online appointments to assist you in navigating your employability journey at UNSW and beyond. For more information, go to employability.unsw.edu.au.
ARC is your official student organisation. We look after everything outside the classroom, from an epic O Week to over 300 clubs, sustainability programs and creative opportunities, student wellness and sports on campus, and so much more. The gist is, we want you to experience everything. Your first step to an incredible experience at UNSW is to join ARC today.
So there you have it. There are heaps of ways that you can access opportunities and support at UNSW. See you on campus.
Cool, this is from me, thank you. No, I'm just kidding. I still have something to cover. Other than all the things that's covered in the video, I just want to give you a little bit more of a detailed run through of what are the services that was covered in the video. So the first thing that is very important for you to know, and at some point you probably will, because this is where you do you make your student ID. We call it the nucleus. It is at the bottom level of the main library. So after these host sessions, there's a chance for you to join the campus tour where you can find out where all the libraries are. And one of the library at the top upper campus is called the main library, and that's where the nucleus is located. It looks really fancy. And we always have around 30 plus staff right there. It's like when you're hungry, you look for Macca's. What's Macca's in the rest of the world? McDonald's? Yes, that's what you call in the rest of the world. We call it Macca's here. When you go to Macca's, when you have any question at all, when you're at UNSW about waitlist, your course registrations, you have forms you want someone to sign, Nucleus is the place to go. Or even if you just sort of don't know where to go, this is the place to go, because they will be able to direct you to the right directions. And like I said, it is also where you will make your student ID. For the next 2-3 weeks, it's going to be very busy, the nucleus, because it's going to the exam period for the usual students. The term 3 sort of orientation is also coming up where we'll have a lot of incoming students. So please do make sure you have to book an appointment to make a student ID, and you need to bring your passport as well. You can't just walk in. And the nucleus actually have like a Teams channel with us in the background. So sometimes if you're sending an email and you're sort of waiting for a response, but please note that we do get a lot of emails every day, and you just sort of impatient, then you can also go to the nucleus where they kind of just Teams us, and we'll be able to give sort of a quicker response. Obviously, if it's a case is more complicated, then just please be patient while you email us. The next one that we have is student support team. So here on the slides are the student support advisor. You will be able to book an appointment with them as well. I think for me, how I sort of distinguish between all the services or support services that we have, the nucleus is more like if there's anything sort of admin related, course related, you go to the nucleus. But for the sort of student support advisor is if you're feeling a little lost, you don't know what you're doing, you feel like there's some sort of relationship problems, you're feeling a little bit homesick, then they are the sort of people that you can talk to. And they're all very nice. If you go to the website, scan the code, you sort of have introductions of what the advisors are, what they do, what they specialize in, and if you're comfortable talking to a female or male, you can pick and you can select who you want to talk to. And like I said, it is a self-referral pathway, so you can book an appointment. It is 45 minutes either in person or virtually. It will be in the Good Cell building where a lot of the support advisors are located as well. But please note that if you need support for either your visa or COE, it will go through the nucleus where you talk to an international advisor. I think they're there for Monday to Friday, 2 to 4, yes. But yeah. So, like I said here are the list of things that you can sort of reach out to the support advisors if you want to. So academic difficulty, personal matter if you're homesick, especially if you're first time away from home, any financial hardship, referral to services. So if you're, if for whatever reasons there's some barrier for you to reach out to specific services, you can also reach out to them, give them the consent for them to sort of hold your hand and go to those services together in a way. Next things on the slide is the equitable learning services. So it is a support service we offer to students. You do not need to identify as disability or disabled to apply for these. If you sort of have any mental health sort of difficulties, or if you think that there's any condition that's affecting your learning, you can consider applying. You'll need to go to the website and see whether you are eligible. So if you apply and successful, then you'll get some sort of tailored learning plan, you'll get classroom support as well. And if you are already receiving some sort of learning adjustment services from your home university, please do apply it and register as soon as possible. You can't just, before your exam or your assignments comes in and you're like, oh, I actually think I need some support, then it's probably too late. But yeah, this is something to consider, or not consider if you, have sort of difficulties. Another thing is UNSW academic skill services. So they, very literally, they provide you academic skill support. You'll be able to apply or book an appointment with advisors where you can have consultations. For some of you, Australia assessment might look a little bit different than what you have back home. It might also be, for example, the first time you're doing assessment in English as well. The way you're referencing things might be different, or when you see words that sort of make sense, but when they're pieced together, it doesn't make sense, and you don't know how to go on about those assessments, you can book an appointment with them. They will be able to sort of go through and discuss with you. They can't obviously do the assessments for you, but they will be able to give you some guidance as well. And also academic writing could be a little bit different from what you're used to in your home university as well. So this is something to keep in mind. There's also another thing that we offer to students. It's called, there's another team that offer it. It's called My English Week. It's on Tuesday 8th of September to Thursday 10th of September. It is a free program where you're basically with a group of students, you go through exercise. It's delivered by the English language and academic skills teacher. You can learn about English to make friends, how to do your presentations, which is a very common form of assessment in Australia, career success, pronunciations, and more. If you scan the QR code, you'll also see they have a lot of range of different sort of skills that focus on English, focus on academic skills, focus on career as well. Here are the list of other support services that we have. Some are about mental health. So we have Mental Health Connect, where it's basically if you found yourself facing sort of difficulties sort of mentally, or you just really want someone to talk to, or you feel like you're struggling when you're in Australia, which I really hope it doesn't happen, you can sort of reach out to them, and they will be able to sort of connect you to the services that's suitable, or give you like initial consultations as well. And then you can just see on the list or scan the QR code for any other services that it's available at UNSW. Last thing from me is accommodations. I sincerely hope you guys have a place to stay in. If you don't, you're very brave and very chill, and you should really start looking at these resources. So we have study stay, we have email alerts for accommodations that it's available. You can also book an appointment with an advisor. So for you guys, if you are sort of currently, if you just arrived yesterday and you're in a hotel, or you're in an Airbnb and you don't know where to go, or you don't really quite know the suburb in Sydney or around UNSW, like beside Reddit, you can also talk to the advisor. To know you can also, they will be able to just sort of give you advices on where to look, what are the safe area. They will also be able to give you some sort of options that we sort of, they inspected and sort of reliable sources to look for places as well. I really hope that it doesn't apply to you, or you don't need to, but if you have any difficulty as a tenant, you have a landlord that is sort of exploiting you or whatnot, we also have legal services that is available for you to reach out to. And here are all the slides or all the list of legal services that we offer to students, and the QR code to scan as well. So that's it from me for support services. I'll hand it to Shane to talk about health and well-being. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Heather. All right, health and well-being. We're almost there to the fun stuff, I promise.
The UNSW Health Service is a comprehensive health service that's available to all students and staff at the university. Healthcare systems around the world vary greatly from country to country, so here's a brief overview of how the Australian health system works. If you're feeling unwell or have a minor injury, your first point of contact is a general practitioner, or a GP, who works at a health service or doctor's surgery. Australian GPs have extensive training and experience in treating many different types of illnesses and injuries, which may be treated by specialists or emergency wards in other countries. If the GP can't provide the treatment you need, they'll refer you on to a specialist. Specialist appointments can only be made with a referral letter written by a GP. It's important to remember though, if you're experiencing a life-threatening medical emergency, you should call 000 or go to the nearest hospital emergency department. At the UNSW Health Service, we have a team of highly experienced GPs who can provide a range of medical services. We can treat everything from general health issues and sports injuries to heart problems. We can also conduct men's and women's health checks and provide vaccinations for health and travel. Making an appointment with us is easy. You can book a time via our online booking system through the UNSW Health Service website, or through the Appoint You app, which you can download on your phone. You can also come in and speak to our staff in person. All appointments with us are completely confidential, and the health service does not link or share your personal records with the university. For domestic students who hold a Medicare card, or international students with a Medibank OSHC card or AHM card, there is no cost to see a GP. A small fee may be charged for some vaccinations and dressings if needed. If you are an international student with other health insurance funds, you may need to pay upfront and be reimbursed later by your health insurer. On the day of your appointment, you can find us on the ground floor of the Quadrangle at the Kensington campus. Please check in with reception and present your UNSW ID card and a Medicare or health insurance card.
As an international student, the GP-centered model of care here in Australia might be something that we're not used to back in our home countries, but what I really like about the UNSW Health Service here is that the doctors are really actively involved in our personal health and well-being, and even going the extra mile to call us after hours to check in on how we're doing.
It's great to be able to see the doctor instead of going straight to the hospital, and I was so relieved that I found out everything is covered by overseas student healthcare insurance.
The UNSW Health Service prides itself on patient confidentiality, and that means that students like ourselves can feel comfortable speaking freely with the doctors and staff there on any physical or mental health issues that we might have.
The health service is really convenient because it's located on campus, and I can see the doctor straight away without needing a referral.
They really just want to help you out and make sure that you're well looked after.
So remember, if you have any concerns about your health or well-being, come in and see our friendly staff.
Thank you. So my name is Shane. I'm the Program Officer for Study Abroad here. Just wanted to welcome you all here today. It's very exciting to have you. I'm just talking a little bit about the health service available to you. I think most people here are on a student visa and will have overseas student health cover. And so it's good to know that you can go to a doctor here on campus, but also to you can go to other ones around the local area if you want it. So the UNSW Health Service has virtual or, face-to-face or telehealth appointments. You can also get your vaccinations there as well, and you can call the number or book online. It's important to not come to campus if you have tested positive for something like COVID-19 or have any symptoms or are unwell. You can call the UNSW Health Service for advice if that's the case. And I think one of the most important things to remember is that our emergency number here for police, fire, ambulance is 000. So 911 isn't going to work, 999 is not going to work, it's 000 in Australia. If you're on campus, you can also contact UNSW Security. If there is anything happening, you can do that by calling them, but there are also different security boxes and help points across campus. We're also in a location next to one of Sydney's largest hospitals, so the Prince of Wales Hospital is just across the road in Randwick if you need it. And if it's after hours, there is also after hours health service available if you call 136. So for psychology and wellness, there's a range of services on campus available as well, including individual counselling, motivational support, if you're looking after your anxiety and mood management, stress management programs, and a whole range of resources that you can look at in your own time as well. They're located in the Quadrangle building. I'd also recommend you to get the Medibank OSHC mobile app. This will be good to download now so you don't have to think about it when you may be sick down the track. I think most people may have Medibank, but if you have another provider, then they will likely have a very similar kind of app available to you. There's also a Medibank office just here next to the Roundhouse on Lower Campus, so you can go and speak to the representatives there if you have any questions. And just a phone number here for 24-hour, 7 days a week support. You can call this for advice on pretty much anything, but it's run by Medibank. It gives you medical assistance with a registered nurse. It can be used to point you in the right direction if you're not sure where to go as well. And that's where I just mentioned now, right next to the Roundhouse. You may have walked past it through the archways. You came in from the main walkway there. I've got a little bit of a section here just on staying safe around Sydney and looking after yourself. Sydney is a large city. We have over 5 million people. It's often larger from most of the places where you have come from. Take normal precautions like you would in any large Sydney, but by and large, Sydney is quite a safe city to be in. Just obey all the warning signs that you see. Don't leave your bags unattended. Don't walk alone at night. Try and walk in groups. Travel in numbers when leaving locations, especially late at night. Recommend that you keep your passport generally in a safe and secure place and only carry what you need. You don't need to carry large amounts of cash. A lot of Australia is becoming cashless now anyway. And then as well, the main tip from this one to think of is if you are confronted with a dangerous situation, just comply with the demands. It's not a chance to be a hero. You don't need to retaliate. Just look after your safety while you're here, and just do what you have to do in the moment, I guess. Very important, crossing the road. We have to put a slide about it. So many of you might look to the left first and then to the right when you cross the road. In Australia, we obviously drive on the left, and that's mostly different to where a lot of people are from today. So I always recommend to double check in the first few days which way you're looking when you cross the street. And also when you get home, you'll be used to it here in Australia. So remember when you get home to do the opposite. You'll trick yourself, I promise. But we also have the light rail here on campus. It's great to take you into the city. It's very convenient, but they are heavy. There's some pretty heavy light rails out there. So pay attention when you're around them, and obviously crossing the road when you get off the light rail at Anzac Parade. Just wait for the traffic lights, and you'll stay safe. All right. We are in winter time at the moment. We've got some very nice weather now, and we're only going to heat up as we get into later in the year. I haven't quite seen it today like I do in summer, where we have some glowing red faces coming in because they've been at the beach. So you will get sunburnt in Australia if you do not put sunscreen on. The sun here does feel hotter than most of the other places that you will be coming from. So we always say in Australia, slip, slop, slap. So it's like the 5 ways to slip, slop, slap. It's you slip on a shirt, slop on some sunscreen, slap on a hat. And get Australian sunscreen as well. So make sure you're putting on at least 30 plus SPF. We're saying it's not snobbery, but our sunscreen, the sunscreen from overseas might just not cut it here in Australia. So we do have a strong sun. And we're very lucky with this weather that we're having at the moment. But even in winter, the sun can be potent, so look after yourselves and your skin. Australians have the highest rate of skin cancer in the world, so just to let you know what we have to deal with here, year in, year out. Look out for yourself as well in summer with sunburn and heat stroke. Just drink plenty of water. And if you see your friend baking in the sun, maybe just nudge them as well and get them to put on some sunscreen. Okay, so I'd like to say, you look after yourselves by, you're here to study, but you're also here to have a lot of fun. So, balance out your life with work and play and rest. Try and minimize your stress, plan out your study time, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Look out for yourself and your friends. If you notice your friends are feeling down, ask how they're going, see if you can offer support to them. On top of that, UNSW is a smoke-free campus. Smoking and vaping, please go out to the designated areas outside of campus if you choose to do that. And if you choose to drink, the legal age is 18 here in Australia, so please control yourself. Don't drink until you get sick. Don't get into fights. And we really want you to look out for drink spiking and looking out for your friends for drink spiking as well. So this is where someone may slip something in your drink and you're not really sure. So if you've left your drink unattended at a bar or at a club, maybe it's safe to just go and buy another one if you're not sure who's been around it. If you do choose to drive here in Australia, then DUI, driving under the influence, is obviously a thing, and the police do actively patrol for this, so please do not drink while you're driving. And recreational drugs, although they may be readily available in Australia, they are illegal, so convictions for any illegal activity may be considered by the Australian government when deciding to approve or reject your future visa applications, should you wish to return to Australia in the future. So just be prepared to deal with the consequences if something happens and you're doing the wrong thing. Okay, so just going to talk about safe sex and consent for a little bit as well. All genders are equally responsible for risk prevention. You should be considering, STIs, pregnancy, but the main thing is seeking enthusiastic consent. So consent is when a person actively and enthusiastically chooses to have sexual activity, and they are a free and willing agreement to engage in any sexual activity, including sex, where nobody feels forced or pressured to do anything. So everybody is conscious and clear-minded, and an open and active conversation that continues each time sexual activity happens. Nobody just assumes somebody else wants sex or any other sexual activity. So please keep this in mind as you go about having fun out there. And you are not alone if you need to talk to anyone. We've got a whole range of numbers and resources we've seen on the screen here. I recommend just having a look at these here and knowing that support is out there. There is also the UNSW Gendered Violence portal, where you can report any instances of gendered violence or sexual misconduct that has happened, and you can do this anonymously if you wish to. UNSW does also have a number of first responder staff who have done training in this area, so the support is there. Hopefully you don't have to come to using it. I mentioned these before. There are help points all around campus. So UNSW is committed to the safety of all students, staff, and visitors. There is a 24-hour security presence, and these help points will connect you directly to a security team member. There's also night shuttle buses as well, so this will take you around local area, and there is a loop that it does. And you can also, if you are working late at night on campus, maybe on a group assignment, and you're not feeling safe walking home, you can also have a security escort service. You can call them up, and a security member will come and meet you and walk you to your destination. And there's just a quick video here, I believe, on the Safe Zone app. So this is...
Hi, I'm Tara Murphy, Director of Security here at UNSW. We are fortunate in that we study, work, live and socialise within a safe campus. But as we go about our day-to-day activities, we also need to remain mindful that sometimes things can go wrong. I want to tell you about a new app called Safe Zone that we're rolling out in a bid to enhance security and safety for everyone in the UNSW community. The main objective of Safe Zone is to provide immediate access to individual assistance in the event of an emergency. Safe Zone enables you to alert UNSW security with the touch of a button. Once alerted, the Operations Centre can quickly dispatch our security teams to your location on campus. Safe Zone can also send out push notifications about emergency or critical incidents at UNSW that may impact you and where you may need to take action. The Safe Zone app is a great tool to have, even if you think you won't need it. In the event of an emergency outside campus, you can also use it to quickly connect to 000. Safe Zone is super straightforward. Download it from the App Store or from Google Play and register using your ZID email address. Then take a look around, check out the main features on the homepage. There are 3 big buttons: the emergency button, the first aid button, and the non-urgent security button. Press the red emergency button for life-threatening situations. This will raise an alert to the Security Operations Centre with your location and connect you to an operator. Press the green first aid button if you or a friend require initial medical assistance. This will alert security to prepare for a medical emergency. For non-urgent security inquiries, such as if you're lost on campus or have been locked out of a room, use the blue button. To use any of these services, simply tap on the button once. Don't stress it if you accidentally hit a button. You can always cancel within a few seconds by clicking the same button again. Other features include a time check-in feature for people working alone after hours and a see it, say it tip reporting feature, which gives you an easy way to report things like vandalism or identifying areas on campus where you feel unsafe. This will help my team assess these spaces for any additional security measures that can be implemented. Safe Zone also provides important links to safer communities, staff and student wellbeing, and helpful information on tracking the UNSW shuttle service. That's Safe Zone for you. Hopefully you won't ever need it, but it's here to ensure your safety at UNSW.
Yeah, so I would recommend getting that one on your phone. Again, you probably don't want to think about it today, but when you need it down the track, it'll be very handy, particularly if you do live in and around campus as well, would be definitely worth that. So our phone numbers here, again, 000 is the main one I want you to remember today. If you're out and about and you see anything and you need to report an emergency, 000 is the number. I've just got a small section now on getting around campus, and then we'll move on to the good stuff. So if you are doing art and design courses, then you will be, actually they're held on the Paddington campus. So there is a art and design shuttle bus that leaves here from the Kensington campus. It has a timetable, and it's usually goes every half hour or so. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get to the Paddington campus from here. So check your timetable. If you have classes on both campuses, you won't be able to make the next class if it's back-to-back. You'll need to have at least a 1 hour gap between them. And also there is a new Sydney campus. I did see 1 or 2 students who had some classes there as well. So just check your timetable. Your personalized timetables are available on My UNSW, and it will give you details on the location for that. Public transport as well, both here and the Paddington campus are connected to the rest of the Sydney network by buses and light rail. I recommend getting one of the trip planning apps that will help you get around Sydney as well. And if you're not feeling well, we recommend that you wear a mask on public transport as well. There is something called an Opal card here in Sydney. So Opal card is like the thing you use to tap on and tap off the public transport. Exchange and study abroad students, unfortunately, are not eligible for the transport concession fares and have to pay the adult fare. I actually recommend as well these days that you can just use your bank card, or you can use your phone to tap on and off if it's connected to your bank account for more convenience as well, so you don't have to carry a card. So, but that's all from me today. I'm going to hand over to my colleague Shailene, and she's going to talk a little bit about Australian culture. Thank you.
All right. Hi, everyone, or should I say good day, everybody? Sorry, I don't usually say that, but I'm Shailene. I'm the project officer in the Learning Abroad team. And today I'll be giving a short introduction on Australian culture. So moving to Australia is exciting, but it can also feel overwhelming. So my goal is to help you feel prepared, reassured, and excited to begin your studies here. So, as I just mentioned, traveling to a new country can be stressful, even if you've planned many hours for it. And so many students feel surprised when they experience culture shock. So being surrounded by a new language, people might speak quickly. This is normal, but it gets easier with time. Social behaviors will feel different, and interactions with friends, teachers, and classmates may be more casual or more formal than you're used to. You may notice differences in values, beliefs, and ways in everyday thinking. Every culture has its own norms, and these can feel unfamiliar at first. So in the event that you feel culture shocked by Australians, here are some ways to manage it. So be flexible and open to adapting. Be proactive and start a conversation with them. Look after yourself by eating well and exercising and sleeping enough. Join social activities, which we'll learn more about with ARC. And reach out for support, the many support services that we offer when you need it. Alrighty, just a quick introduction to some of our symbols and flags. So at the top left, you'll see the traditional Aboriginal map showing the many First Nations across the land, very diverse. as well as the current Australian map with the current states and territories, including New South Wales, which we are currently in. The third image shows the Australian coat of arms, featuring the kangaroo and the emu, chosen because these animals cannot walk backwards. The fourth image shows the golden wattle, Australia's national floral emblem, representing unity, resilience, and national pride. The Australian flag, which I'm sure many of you know, as well as the Aboriginal flag next to it, followed by the Torres Strait Islander flag and the boxing kangaroo, which is a well-known symbol of Australian spirit often seen at sporting events. So just a little bit about Aboriginal First Nations. So Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures stretch back more than 65,000 years, making them among the oldest continuing cultures in the world. One word I want to focus on is country. This is a key concept that includes land, water, skies, seasons, plants, animals, and all living things. And so Indigenous culture is holistic, deeply connected to family, community, and country. And you'll find many of these beliefs are rooted in our current Australian culture. First Nations people are very diverse with many languages, cultural identities, and one shared element is their deep ongoing relationship with their country. And so if you do get the chance, I encourage you all to explore Aboriginal First Nations history. Okay, just a little bit about Australian culture. We are quite a multicultural country, and that shapes our everyday life. And so people love being outdoors. You'll see them everywhere. Every weekend means going to the park, bushwalks, going on a barbecue, and just soaking in the sunshine when we do have it. Beach culture is very huge. I'm sure many of you will be attending a beach at least once when you're here. And so people do enjoy going surfing, swimming, and coastal walks, which really shapes our everyday life. Our communication style can be casual, friendly, and sometimes we use humor and lighthearted teasing. And we can be a bit dry sometimes, but you'll get used to it. So we also take pride in our sports. It's one of the major parts of Australian culture and community life. Some of the sports here we have is Australian Football League, the AFL, NRL, National Rugby League, which is finishing soon, but if you do manage to catch some part of it, I do encourage you to watch it. We've got cricket, soccer, or football, swimming, tennis, and netball and surfing, and then some of our major sporting events include the grand finals for AFL and NRL, State of Origin, Melbourne Cup, and Australian Open. Okay, Australian delicacies. There's only one way I can describe our delicacies, and they are quite simple. So, the first one we have is the Bunnings Warehouse simple sausage snag or sandwich, whatever you'd like to call it. Now, it isn't about the food itself, it's about being at Bunnings. So if you ever get the chance to go to Bunnings, I encourage you to do so, and you'll always smell sausage sandwiches there, even if they're not cooking anything. You will smell it. So if you do find yourself needing to get equipment to build something or some paint, which I doubt it, go to Bunnings and get yourself a sausage sandwich. Or just go there. Don't worry about getting anything from there. Next, we have Tim Tams. This is a chocolate biscuit, and I'm not sure if we have anyone from the UK here, but they are a very better version of penguins. So if you also get the chance, I'd encourage you to get some Tim Tams, and when you do get them, please Google something called a Tim Tam Slam and try that one out. We also have Lemingtons. This is basically just a chocolate sponge cake with some coconut on it. Pretty good. Next, we have Lamington. Not Lamingtons, I just said Lamingtons. Fairy bread. So what this is a piece of white bread, some sprinkles, or hundreds and thousands as we call them, and that's it. You eat that, that's pretty good. Next, Vegemite. There's very mixed reviews about this one. I've never had it, so I have had it. It depends how you like it, but I would suggest not taking it or like having it straight up, just butter and then just a little bit. Maybe like, actually, I don't know, I'm not really qualified to talk about Vegemite. So anyways, yeah, so these are some of our delicacies. Oh, okay, and then the red meat there is kangaroo steak. So yes, we do eat the animal that's on our coat of arms. So yeah. Okay, and some places to visit. So I'm very partial to Sydney. Sydney is probably the best city. But we do have some other pretty cool places to visit. So we have Melbourne, great for its coffee, laneway art, and live music. I also really like Melbourne, but I grew up here, so Sydney. And then we're famous for our beaches, so Bondi, Manly, and Coogee, that's up the road or down the road, somewhere there. The Blue Mountains, the Royal National Park, great places for hiking. The Gold Coast, very popular for its warm weather and surfing culture. I've never been, but I'm sure it's great. Hunter Valley, which is a 3-hour drive upstate. A great place for wine and a great weekend getaway. And then Sydney, I would say, has the best food. I might be lying, but from what I've eaten, it's pretty good. We have a lot of local markets, a lot of multicultural food, and just great food all around. Cool, just a few more things to note. Some common etiquette in Sydney or just in Australia in general. We do rounds at the pub, and then splitting bills amongst friends is quite normal. Our shopping closes around 5 to 5:30 p.m. So if you do need to get something done during the weekday, and weekends actually, do it before 5:30 because you'll be stranded. Except on a Thursday, we stay open till 9 p.m. So, and then some slang. I don't know if you guys know, but we do use slang quite often. There are some on the slide, so I'm just going to go through them really quickly. So Barbie equals barbecue, sunnies equals sunglasses, brekkie equals breakfast, arvo equals afternoon, lollies equals candy, although I say lollies, so maybe it's not. Servo equals service station, yeah, nah equals no, nah, yeah equals yes. So that one's really important. You'll get confused. Jumper equals sweater/cardigan, but jumper just makes sense, so maybe you should switch to saying jumper. But yeah, that's pretty much about Australian culture. You will experience Australian culture very differently. We can be quite shocking, so if you do go into culture shock, that's fine. But yeah, we're here to support you anyways. I do hope you all have fun and do like our culture. There is a lot more than I have explained here, but yeah, I'm sure you'll experience it. Okay, all right, beach safety. This one's important. Can I just get a raise of hands who's planning on going to the beach? Okay, cool, so everyone, nice. So if you guys didn't listen to anything I just said, listen to this. So swim at a patrolled beach between the red and yellow flags. They're huge, you cannot miss them, so make sure you always swim between them. I say this, but I can't swim, so obey all beach safety signs. Learn how to identify rip currents, check for them before swimming. We'll watch a video on that, so an expert will give you a guide on how to do that. If unsure, ask a lifesaver or lifeguard about the beach conditions. Again, they're red and yellow, you will not miss them. Wear a life jacket when boating, rock fishing, or paddling. Avoid entering the ocean during severe weather. I'm sure you'll see it when it's really bad. So if you think it's a good idea, it's probably not. Take personal responsibility, think twice, and assess safety before entering the water. So now I'm going to play a video basically explaining all of that.
We all love hitting the beach in summer, and we know that the safest place for us to swim is always between the red and yellow flags at a beach patrolled by lifeguards or surf lifesavers. But a lot of people swim at unpatrolled beaches, and tragically, that's where most of the drownings in Australia happen every year.
The first thing when you hit the beach is to stop and think. Where are the lifeguards? If there's no lifeguards, are the conditions dangerous for me? Are the waves too big? Are there rip currents around? because you do not want to go swimming if the conditions are outside of your comfort zone and if there's any rips. What I'm looking for is whitewater. Whitewater means the waves are breaking, it's shallower, it's much safer. I'm also looking for these dark green gaps between the whitewater because chances are those are rip currents and that's not where I want to swim. White is nice, green is mean. But they're not always easy to spot. That's why you need to spend time. You need to spend a few minutes. And if you start to see this persistent dark gap going out through the whitewater, chances are that's a rip current. A little bit of elevation always helps. Maybe there's a headland or a car park that's a little bit higher. That always helps spot these dark gaps a little bit better. But the bottom line is if you're not sure if there's rip currents around, then you really don't want to go in the water. If you do find yourself caught in a rip current, don't panic because rips are just taking you for a ride. They don't pull you under the water. Please relax, stay calm, float, raise your hand or you wave your hand for help. Surfers do a lot of rescues and they have a nice flotation device that you can hold on to. So if you are in trouble, get their attention. Tragically, every year we get a lot of what we call bystander rescuer drownings, and often it's a parent trying to save a child. The main thing to remember is don't rush in. Call for help, and if you are going to go in the water, you must grab something that floats. Look around the beach. Maybe there's a boogie board lying around or a surfboard, because that gives you and the person you're trying to rescue something to hold on to, and that can make a difference. You go to the beach, it's a place of joy, it's a place of relaxation, it's a place of fun, and it shouldn't be a place of tragedy. If you want to go swimming, you need to look up and down the beach, and if you see any lifeguards, lifesavers, if you see some red and yellow flags, that's absolutely where you need to be. Rip currents are the biggest hazard on our beaches and the biggest cause of drownings. So it really makes sense to just stop and think. If in doubt, don't go out.
Okay, you heard it there. If in doubt, don't go out. Now for all the fun stuff that everyone was talking about, because it sure wasn't me, I'm gonna introduce Steph from ARC to come up on stage. Yes.
Hi team, how are we? Oh, low energy, I feel it. My name is Steph, my pronouns are she, her, and I am here to tell you all about ARC. ARC is your student organisation at UNSW. We do all of the stuff outside the classroom, and we are here to make sure that you can make the most of uni life. Before I tell you all of the ways that you can get involved, all of the millions, and I mean millions, of things that we do, a big part of what we're about is making sure that you have someone to experience all of this with. And that is friendship at the end of the day. Can everyone put a hand up if you're sitting next to someone you already know? No, look at all the friendship already in the room. I am still going to have a challenge for you though. What my challenge is say hello to the person next to you. If you already know them, find something new about them. Ask them really niche questions. I'm only going to give you 2 minutes, and we're all going to really listen in when I want to bring your attention back, and it's going to take like a good minute. So, go. Thirty more seconds. All right, we can do this. You can bring your attention back to me, finish up the thing you're learning about someone. Absolutely smart. Wow, that was way faster than I thought it would be. I'm going to pick on people because, in fact, I can. So these, who am I going to pick on? Oh, lovely sir, backwards cap, making eye contact with me. What did you learn about a person sitting next to you? What sports does he do? Incredible, 2 sports. Give me a hand, anyone please. Cricket or rugby in the room? Just no one else. That's crazy. Surely, like, I understand those are semi-Australian sports, but like, surely. Anyway, you've got time to learn. So, hopefully, you now know at least one person, or maybe you've really learnt something about your best friend, even more than you could have known. And I want you to carry that friend and take them through all the adventures that you have at uni, doing some of this stuff as well. So let's get into it. What does ARC do? First thing, clubs and societies. At ARC, there are now about 400 different clubs and societies. There is anything from rugby to underwater rugby to anime society, board game society, Pokemon society, you name it, it probably exists. I always recommend you join at least 3. Most of them are free, so you could literally join hundreds if you wanted to. The first one you're going to join is your faculty or school club or society. It's a great way to learn about things that are happening in the networking space, meet people in your course, all of those types of things. The second is something that you already like. Find something that's a hobby or something you're passionate about. And the third is a wild card. Join something you have no idea about, you've never done before, maybe you've always wanted to try. Now is the chance to do it. The next thing are plenty of epic events. You'll notice that this is the Roundhouse. The Roundhouse is the home to incredible events, gigs, conferences, you name it. There is heaps going on here at all times. There is also a beer garden behind you that always has things like trivia and bingo and those fantastic events that you can enjoy as well. You will find ARC spread across campus every day of the week. So always stop by the quad, stop by the library, and you will always find fantastic freebies, cool events, and things happening as well. Sport, we've already started to learn about. I always recommend to get involved in sport. Not only is it a great place to meet people and make a friend perhaps, but also like, you know, activity is good for you, I guess. So please get involved with sport. You can also, at the Village Green, there is pick up and play. So you can go grab sport equipment and just take it to the beach, take it with some friends, use it on campus if you ever need that as well. Volunteering is a fantastic way to get involved, to make some friends, to give back, that warm and fuzzy feeling in your heart. Please do get involved with volunteering if you have some time to spare. There are about 24 different programs you can volunteer with, anything ranging from helping to give students free breakfast every morning, to being in our campus garden, to giving back to local charities and communities. There really is something for everyone. Something I would absolutely recommend you all do now that you're all best friends is sign up to the Funathon, which is a 24-hour marathon of fun activities, and it's all about fundraising for the Sydney Children's Hospital. It is a pretty epic event and something you will never forget in your time at UNSW. The next is well-being, and of course you need to look after yourself, and I know people have been standing up here and telling you that as well, but at ARC that does kind of look like alpacas sometimes. There is Stress Less Week to look forward to that happens in week 8 of term. There are heaps of ways to make sure that you do get to stress less, decompress, and look after yourself even when exams and assignments get a bit intense. And of course, we're here for help as well. So whether it's academic advocacy, if you ever need legal advice, but also we have fantastic services to help with your cost of living, because it can be pretty brutal. Food Hub is one of them. It's a free food pantry. You can come and grab your pantry staples, fresh food, things like bread. They have really good sourdough most of the times. But you can also check out all of the other things related to helping you on our website as well. So there is genuinely heaps more, whether it is heaps of leadership development, getting your bike fixed, learning new skills, we genuinely have it. So please do keep in touch with us, follow us, check out the things that we're doing, and we will absolutely see you on campus for fantastic times to come. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Steph. Food is coming soon, I promise. We have another fun section, so I would like to introduce Claire, Jamie, and Isabel, our exchange ambassadors, and they will introduce themselves and they will talk about more fun and exciting things. I think the mic should be, it's on. Yeah, it should be.
Hi everyone, we are UNSW's exchange ambassadors. My name's Claire and I went on exchange to France last year.
My name's Jamie, and last year I went to Sweden.
And I'm Isabel, and I went to Spain. Okay, so one of the societies that we were talking about was the Exchange Society. So that's for all of you guys and any local student interested in exchange. So some fun events that we host are pub crawls, so that will take you to the best pubs around the city. Beach barbecues, coastal walks, and a fun cruise at the end of the term, which will be like a boat party for you guys to meet some local students and other exchange students. So feel free to scan the QR code and it will take you to our Instagram page and you'll be able to find out more. Okay, so some local tips that we have for you guys. I don't know if any of you guys are runners, but Bondi does a 5 a.m. run club, so it's very iconic to Australian culture to wake up early. So it would be a great way to see if you want to catch the sunrise on your day.
All right, so our point did low-key get stolen, but that's okay. We talked a little bit about classic Aussie food and snacks, and I kind of just want to give some of my personal recommendations. In the middle, you'll see Lamingtons. I don't know about any one of you, but I actually hate coconut, so I thought I hated Lamingtons. But there is a fantastic place in a suburb called Newtown, and there's a place called Tokyo Lamingtons, and they make all different kinds of Lamingtons. You may have heard of fairy bread. In the middle picture there, you see a colorful square thing. That's like a fairy bread Lamington, so it's a really good crossover. There's like no coconut, which I love. So lots of different options there. Some other great snacks are sausage rolls, which I know sounds really silly, but we make some really good sausage rolls and meat pies. Besides Coogee and Bondi, there is a beach that's around 20-25 minutes bus ride away from this campus. It's called Maroubra. It's one of my favorites to watch sunsets. There's also a bakery there called Grumpy Baker, which is pictured, and they make some of the best sausage rolls I've ever had in my life. So if you want like a beach day, you should go there, get a sausage roll, and then head to the beach. And the last one I want to highlight is a chicken parmy. I don't know if any one of you know what it is. Maybe Europeans will know it as like a schnitzel, but we do it a little bit differently. It's kind of gross, but kind of yummy. If you go to any pub, they should offer it, but my favorite is Dove and Olive, which is just a couple of light rail stops down the road to Surrey Hills. Very good. But yeah.
Okay, so I do consider myself a bit of an authority on Vegemite. I think everyone's heard of it. But when they come to Australia and they try it, no one ever really likes it. So this, I believe anyway, is the best way to try Vegemite, to give you the best chance of actually liking it. So over at the top, there we have a bakery called Baker's Delight. It's like a chain. It's really good. And they have something called a Cheesy-mite scroll, which essentially is cheese, Vegemite, and bread, which doesn't sound too exciting, but it's personally my favorite snack. And some real local knowledge is that a lot of these bakeries have a microwave at the back, and you can ask them to heat it up, which makes it a lot better. So this is the best way to try Vegemite, I would say.
All right, guys, you've held on so well. We've really left the best for last. One side note, if you have any follow-up questions about what we just said, or you want to ask general questions about student life, ask for more local tips based on your interests, feel free to come talk to us afterwards. But before we let you go for food, we do have one fun activity that the exchange ambassadors and the team has come up with, which is your human bingo. So on your way out, you will receive a piece of paper like this from one of us and a pen. What your task is to do is to find 16 unique individuals, or actually 14 unique individuals that match the criteria on this bingo list. You can probably see the task up there, but one of them is like someone wearing something blue. So if you see someone wearing blue right now, you gotta hunt them down. some basic instructions. Everyone has to be different on your card, so make sure you have their ZID, so their student ID number, as well as their name, and you will write it down in those boxes. The tasks in yellow, those are things you have to do yourselves. So one of the tasks you can see in the middle is take a group selfie with one of us and 3 other students. So when you send it over, make sure to attach that photo as well if you want to. But yes, once you have done all 16 boxes, there is a fun prize. The first 10 students who email the completed form as well as the photo to Exchange office will get one of these lovely hoodies. So the first 10, it's first come, first serve. So get going, get making friends. And the email is just exchange@unsw.edu.au. All the instructions are on the bingo sheet if you weren't listening. So just take a look at that. And the main thing I want to point out is sometimes it's not about the prize, it's about the journey. The point of is to make friends, get talking to people that you don't know. I noticed a lot of you come in like big groups, just kind of scary, but this is your opportunity to make friends from around the world. I like to say when I was in exchange that I didn't go to Sweden to meet other Australians, and you probably feel the same. So talk to any one of us if you need help or you want understanding or clarity on the tasks. But yeah, just try to go out, break out of your comfort zones, make new friends, and yeah, first 10 get a prize. So yeah, any other questions? Perfect. I will now pass the time back to Elena, and thanks so much, guys. We'll see you around.
Thank you so much. So you've got lots of great tips, lots of food tips, which is amazing. Yes, so please, if you do have any questions, if you would like to meet full degree students, have a chat to our exchange ambassadors at the barbecue, which will start in a couple of minutes. Yeah, please join the Exchange Society. We are getting lots of questions about meeting, full degree students, local students, questions about events, so they know where you can have a great time and all the places they will take you. They will be outside the sort of touristy destinations that you will go to by yourself anyway. So a couple of reminders. Yes, we will start the barbecue in a minute. I think they will be ready in 5 minutes, sorry, at 12. After the barbecue, there will be optional campus tours. They're run by yellow shirt volunteers. So they're students who run campus tours. These ones are specifically for you guys, but if you are not able to go to one of the tours today, don't be disappointed. During the whole week that I was talking about in the beginning, there will be lots of yellow shirt campus tours running, and you will be able to join one of those. So at the barbecue, yes, you can get some food. The whole point is to socialize, do the human bingo, meet others. Feel free to stay here for as long as you would like to. The weather is nice. It will be set up outside. So that's sort of the end of the official, I guess, formal, compulsory part. So thank you again for attending. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you find it informative, but also fun. So hopefully it's a good introduction to everything that UNSW in Sydney could offer. And yes, any questions, you can come up to us at the barbecue or email us. But please, the main thing, as we told before, meet each other. And thank you, and have a wonderful time. Well, 5-2, yeah. I think let's just, sorry, just 1 second. We're opening those. Let's start, because there will be probably students queuing up. We will need to leave through the doors at the back. Maybe, I don't know, I'll try to get it organized, but maybe let's try in groups. Maybe guys, whoever's already standing up, maybe start queuing up. We'll open doors like in a minute. Try to.
We'll open the door at the back. So at the student at the front, can you please just take a seat for now, because we don't want everyone rushing back. So if you are not already up, please do sit down. And if you're going on that way, you have to go around. But the barbecue, we will open the door at the back. So please be patient. I know you're hungry. You're probably also jet lagged.